The topic of the talk today is how to reuse your thinking. Reuse your thinking to execute your day more efficiently. So things are coming at you. They're called thoughts. They're coming from all around the universe hitting your head. And what we want to do is we want a structure to place those thoughts in, just like that cabinet over there. So when we get a thought that comes in, we put it in the right spot so that we can do what? We can build on it. Who here has done any sort of construction? Yeah, what'd you do?
Just last year I tiled a room in my house.
You did what?
Did the tiling in a room in my house.
Okay.
Yep.
What was the first step?
Digging up the carpet.
Okay, and then what happened after that?
Clearing out the concrete, laying down concrete, and then like new concrete, and then starting the tiling.
And then after
well, first, you drop red lines on the ground, get your lines all set up, figure out what you want, lay the tile, set the grout. There was like a finish.
So could
that
you have done
down.
the grout before you ripped up the carpet?
No.
What would that have been like? It would have been a mess, right?
Just putting grout on tile.
Yeah.
Or on carpet, yeah.
Yeah. It's the same way that we do construction. You don't build a building like the one we're in by just building up a shack and then tearing it down, then building up a bigger shack and then tearing it down. You start with the foundation. You get rid of the carpet first. Then you put the new cement. So you're building your foundation. Well, that's how we execute big things. Projects that require a lot of thought. The same thing's happening with your thoughts. The actual networks in your head. You're clearing stuff out, you're laying the foundation, and then you're building and you're building and you're building, and you're reusing. And everything that you do, you build on top of it. So you never have to go back to ground zero. Doesn't that sound like a good idea?
Yeah.
So this is a framework. We're going to go through setting up a day with this framework. You can use the Brain Organizer framework for anything that you want. It doesn't necessarily have to be, your day, but I think that's the best way to do it. So I want everybody to flip the first page, because that was actually the way the notebook's structured. Yeah, that's the correct first mindset. You have a left brain and a right brain page. So I want everyone to put the date today right here in the date column. And what's on your mind? Everyone write day by day. Okay, so who still has stuff to do today? Raise your hand. Yeah? You guys all have stuff? Good. So then we'll plan this day. So what's your goal the rest of the day? What do you want to get done? Write it down. So it's supposed to be like a big idea, an overarching goal, not every single thing that you want to get done. Just like my days, I usually do a lot of things. My mission for that day is to like move the ball forward in products, or move the ball forward in sales, or move the ball forward in recruiting. So what do you want to move the ball forward in today? So the next thing is who and what can help you. This is an important question to ask yourself whenever you start your day or you start a project or whatever. Who are your resources? So name those people or websites or things that can help you. So John, what's your mission today?
I just put personal improvement.
Okay.
So I have a bunch of stuff I have to do in order to improve myself, I guess you would say.
Okay, so today's the day about personal improvement.
Yes, sir.
Cool. And who or what can help you today?
Dave, one of the trainers at the gym I work out at, buddy Scott, who I'll be hanging out with later, and someone else I'm meeting with later named Marvin.
Okay. Good. That's good. That's a good example. You know, you identify the people. Sometimes I do a lot of technical work, so sometimes people can't help me, and sometimes websites help me. So you can also put non-people there as well. Sometimes money helps. Sometimes I'll put money. So, all right. So next is the main categories of the day. So before you guys do this, let's start with an example. John, so what are you going to work on? Body? Is that one of the things maybe?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so one of these things could be body. Do you have multiple parts? Like, are you working on different parts of your body?
Today,
Today, okay. So I mean, you could go if there's enough there. If like you're focusing on like chest muscles or whatever, you could do that. If you're focusing on like legs, and you have so many different things in legs, you can even make legs a separate one down there. So you got chest, legs, or if it's just all like you want to categorize it in one, you could just make one of these things body. Maybe one of these things is money, job searching or whatever. So you make money be something like that. A lot of times I put my projects in there. Like one of the things I'm working on is our mobile indexer product, and I'll put mobile indexer there. So why don't you guys think about the main overarching categories, and one or two or three words even, put like the different structures, points of your day. Who wants to volunteer what they put down? Anyone else besides John want to volunteer? Valerie?
Okay. Well, my overarching goal is to get organized in a certain workshop series that I'm working on.
Okay.
So in my boxes, there's an inspirational networking that I want to conduct in like 45 minutes. Organization, Photoshop, and a PR net push.
Okay, great. Excellent. So in the PR net push, let's focus in on that together. So no one write anything. So let's pretend like this box is the PR net push. Over here we have our questions that we can ask ourselves. Questions are to trigger what you don't know. This is where your brain, like according to Nicholas McConnell, the inventor of the brain organizer, questions are where the left brain stops. It says, whoa. It's like the end of a clip. It's like, I don't know where to go. And so you ask the questions, and by writing down your questions, you allow yourself to get the answer to come to you. So however that process works, whether you believe it's spiritual or the right brain or whatever, it's just that process of writing down your questions can have incredible power in solving what you don't know and moving the ball forward. So you'll see here, so the topic is reusable thought. So this is where we really get reusable. We see here these things called triggers. So who wants to read me? Why don't we start around the room? Why don't you read the first question trigger?
Bill?
Oh, that's an action trigger. Yeah. Who? So meaning who, what person? And then Tatiana?
Who already knows?
Who already knows? Okay, great. John?
What feature or benefit?
Okay, and then the next one?
What is the difference?
And then the next one?
What description?
Okay, and then what if? And then the next one?
What application?
Okay,
When? Time?
okay,
Why is it necessary?
Why reason?
Which one?
yep. How much or how often?
How easy is it?
And
How process?
how process, how many, what's the process? So these questions right here, these can save you thousands of dollars because that's all a consultant would ask you. If you were to pay a consultant to sit down, or a friend or a coach or whatever, if you were to have them sit down, that process of collaboration, that's essentially what's happening. You guys are triggering each other. Who here finds it easy to work with other people and collaborating? Yeah, right? It's nice because you can bounce ideas off each other in real time. You're getting that feedback. By yourself, you don't have that. So what you want to do is you want to reuse these triggers to trigger your own thinking. So why doesn't everybody pick one thing, one topic of all these that you're doing today, and ask yourself some questions. Read down these, whatever ones come to your head, can be in whatever order you want. Just read through the list and see what questions pop up at you. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to make sense. Doesn't even have to be a sentence. It could be like, what person, what money to get to point B. You know, mine sometimes make no sense. If the answers come to one of the questions, write it next to it. So you have your question, what can we do now? Right next to it, just pencil in the answer. If you have an answer. You don't have to make your questions go unanswered. A lot of times when I do this, I'll write down my question and a second later I'll have the answer. So I'll still write down the question because maybe more answer will come, but I'll also write down the answer. And you can write down the answer right next to the question, or if it triggers something entirely different, it's not a direct answer, you can go ahead and write down an action. And I'll let you figure out where that is, where the actions are. We have some new visitors. Who wants to give them a recap of what we just learned? Why don't we all join in? So what's the first thing that we're going to do whenever we open up a notebook?
Put the date in the upper left-hand corner.
Yeah, that's one of the first things that I recommend. You don't have to. You don't have to always put the date. Sometimes I don't, but you know what happens? I really regret it when I forget to put the date when I'm putting everything together. So go ahead and put the name and your date right there. Okay. What else do we do?
So this is kind of like we're setting up a framework for something we want to get done. What we're talking about right now is like what we want to get done with our day. So up here you put like your day or what you want to get done on a project you're working on or in business. And then on the left side where it says goal, mission, or wish, that's where we're talking about like what your primary goal is. For us, it's what our goal is for today. And then over to the right here, we're listing some of the people or different things that can help us complete that objective for the day.
So why don't you guys go ahead and start? We're just going to use your day as an example. So write my day, and then do you have anything to do today, or you guys are pretty much done with your day? Because you can do like Monday if you're done with your day. So one example is like one of my goals is to move the ball forward in sales. That would be one of my, or get 50% done with my project, or something like that. That could be one. Okay. So, how many of you guys noticed that little action trigger list? It's on the other side of the questions. So we're separating our questions and our actions. And by separating our questions and our actions, we get an easier way to jump in to what we're doing for the day. Nicholas McConnell, who's the founder of this product, the Brain Organizer, says that all important thoughts and everything that you need for getting stuff done comes down to